Okay, so in this video we're going to look at solving quadratic equations. So we know an equation and expression are different because an equation has an equal sign. So if it has an equal sign, it's something that can actually be solved. So if I look at the first one, x squared minus 4x minus 5, I don't have any like terms. I can't just get my x's on one side and my numbers on the other because I can't combine my x's. They have two different exponents who are not like terms. I do know it's a quadratic though. I know it's a quadratic because of the x squared. So I'm going to factor it since that's something I know how to do, and we'll discuss why in a second. Let's go ahead and factor it. It's just an x squared, which means I'm going to use x and x. I'm looking for two things that multiply to negative 5 and add to negative 4. So negative 5 or minus 5 and plus 1 should work. Now it still equals 0. It equaled 0 before, so it equals 0 now. Well, if I'm multiplying two things together, in this case, x plus 1 times x minus 5 to equal 0, that means one or the other has to be 0. So it's real quick. Look at this. Come up here. Say I have 72 times something equal to 0. That something has to be 0. Same thing if I switch around. If I have something times 12 equals 0, that something has to be 0. 0 is the only number that has that weird property that when you multiply to get it, so if I multiply to get 0, one of my numbers has to be 0. So this is going to have two answers because I have two expressions that could be 0. I could have x plus 1 equal to 0. Solve this, so I'll subtract 1, x equals negative 1. If I sub in negative 1, if I look at this parentheses right here, that's going to give me 0 times x minus 5, so 0. I also want to check for x minus 5 equals 0. Add 5, x equals 5. So if I subbed in 5 into this parentheses here, then I would get 5 minus 5 is 0. 0 times anything is going to give me 0. So I'm going to have two answers, negative 1 and 5. To check this, I want to sub in both back into the original equation and make sure it works. So I'll check it with the negative 1. So I'll get negative 1 squared minus 4 times negative 1 minus 5. And I want to check and see, does that equal 0? Well, negative 1 squared is 1. Minus 4 times negative 1 is plus 4. So 1 plus 4 is 5. Minus 5 does equal 0. I'm going to do the same thing with the 5. I'll leave you to do that on your own. Okay, let's look at the next one. X squared plus 6x plus 8 equals 0. Again, I have a quadratic, and I have it equal to 0. Whenever I see I have a quadratic, this is the way I want to solve it. I want to solve it by factoring and letting each of my factors equal to 0. So let's see. It's just an x squared, so I'll have x and x. Find things that multiply to 8, add to 6. So plus 4, plus 2. So I'll have x plus 4 equals 0. Subtract 4, x equals negative 4. And x plus 2 equals 0. Subtract 2, x equals negative 2. Again, I can check both of those. Okay, let's look at the next one. 3x squared minus 7x equals 6. So I notice right away it's a quadratic. Okay, so I have it being a quadratic, meaning I want to factor it. But right now, if I factor it, it's going to equal 6. Multiplying two things together to give me 6 doesn't tell me much about the numbers. It could be 6 and 1, it could be 2 and 3, it could be 7 over 6 and 6. That actually wouldn't work. 6 over 7 and 7. That would work better. So having stuff equal to 6 isn't going to help. So first thing I want to do is get one side equal to 0. So to do that, I'm going to subtract 6 on both sides. I will get 3x squared minus 7x minus 6 equals 0. And now I want to factor this. We should know 3 different ways to factor this now. I'm going to factor by trial and error just because that's the way I prefer. So if I do that, 3x should give me the 3x and the x. Minus 6 could be a few things. It could be 6 and 1. I see right away if I put in 6 and 1 into here, it's not going to work. On the one side, if I put 6 into here, it's going to give me 18, which is going to be too high. If I put in the 6 here and the 1 here, there's no way they're going to add or subtract to give me that 7. So I'm going to not do that set. So I'll try 3x and 2 and 3. So I'll do 3, 2, 2 and 3 as I said. And that would give me a 9x on the outer. That would give me a 2x on the inner. So I need the higher one, the 9x, to be minus. So that way it adds up to a minus 7. Okay, so I got my factors. Now I can set both of them equal to 0. This equals 0. So 3x plus 2 equals 0. Subtract 2 from both sides. 3x equals negative 2. And divide by 3. X equals negative 2/3. Do my other one. X minus 3 equals 0. Add 3 to both sides. X equals 3. So I have my two answers. Okay, try that with my next one. I have 2x squared plus 3 equals 7x. Again, I notice it's a quadratic, and I notice it's not equal to 0. So first thing I'm going to do is subtract my 7x over. Now I want to make sure I put it in order. We're used to seeing these things in order. So we're used to seeing the quadratic first, the x squared first, then the x, so minus 7x, and then the number, so plus 3. Again, I can factor this. I have a few ways of factoring it. I'm going to do trial and error. You can do any of the other ways. So I'll get 2x and x. Only things that multiply to give me 3 are 3 and 1. So I could either put my 3 in the first number, which if I put our first parentheses, which if I put it there, I'll get 2 times 1 is 2, plus 3 is not going to give me 7. So I'm going to put it in the second parentheses. That way 2 times 3 is 6, and then 1 times x is 1, so 7. Multiplying to get to positive, adding to get to negative, so I'll do minus and minus. And now again, I can just set each parentheses equal to 0. So 2x minus 1 equals 0, add the 1, 2x equals 1, x equals 1 over 2. X minus 3 equals 0, add 3, x equals 3. So I have two answers. Check these, you can just sub them in. Fractions are a little bit harder to sub in. You might just want to check your work, make sure you factor correctly. Maybe FOIL out this factoring and make sure it's correct. And you might notice a theme by now. The first one, we had the answers being plus 1 and minus 5, so we just kind of changed the signs. Second one, we had plus 4 and plus 2 was the factor, so we changed the signs in the answer. Third one is 3x plus 2. We changed the sign, got to minus 2, and then divided by the number in front of the x, so minus 2/3. Here was a 1, so we just again changed the sign. 1 in front of the x, so plus 3. Here, again, 2x minus 1, change the sign and divided by the number in front of x. X minus 3, again, just change the sign. So if you see the pattern and it comes really quickly for you, do it. Otherwise, just solve for x. Let's try a little bit of harder ones. Say we have 3x plus 1, x plus 5, times x plus 5, equals 5 times x plus 1. Now if I look at this, it's already factored. I gotta be super excited, right? If it's already factored, that means it's already done, basically. Except that is not going to be true, because it does not equal 0. So before I do anything, I have to get it to equal 0. So I'm going to do what I've been doing with parentheses since the beginning, and I'm going to FOIL out. So get everything out of parentheses. 3x squared plus 15x plus 1x plus 5 equals 5x plus 5. Now I got everything out of parentheses. I'm going to move everything over to one side, so I got it equal 0. So I'm going to subtract the 5x and subtract the 5. I'm going to write them underneath the like terms. So I'll have 3x squared is still just there. 15x plus 1x is 16x minus 5x will be plus 9x. That's a lie. I can do math. Plus 11x. 16 minus 5 is 11. 5 and 5 will cancel out, so I get this equal to 0. It is a quadratic. Since it's a quadratic, I know I want to factor it. But this time I'm missing that constant, right? It doesn't really look like it's going to factor that easily. Actually, if you're missing a constant, a factor is even easier. This has x squared, 3x squared, plus 11x, meaning I have an x in both terms. That means I can factor out an x. So x times, I'm left with 3x in the first term, 11 in the second term, equals 0. It's factored. I can set each factor equal to 0. That first factor is just x. It's a really easy solution. X equals 0. 3x plus 11 equals 0. If I know my shortcut, I can change the sign, minus 11, and divide by the number in front of x, so divide by 3. Okay, so I got those two answers. Let's try the last one. I always should circle this, I guess, to show I'm done. So last one, x minus 2, x plus 4 equals 2x minus 4. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go ahead and get out parentheses first. So I'll FOIL. So x squared, let's see, outer plus 4x minus 2x minus 8 equals 2x minus 4. I'll subtract my 2x, so minus 2x, and I'll add my 4 to get the one side equal to 0. So 0 equals on the one side. Other side I still have the x squared. See, 4x minus 2x is 2x, minus 2x is 0. So these actually cross out. Minus 8 plus 4 is minus 4. Now I need to factor this. This is one of those difference of two perfect squares. I can recognize them because I'm missing the middle term, and I have perfect squares. So square root minus square root, x minus 2, square root plus square root, x plus 2 equals 0. Solve for x, again, if you can do the shortcut by now. Minus 2, so it'll just be x equals 2, and plus 2, so x equals negative 2. And you can write it like that, which is 1x equals, and the two numbers separated by a comma. Hey, hopefully this made sense. And that's about it for factoring.